Faith. Okay. All right, let's call the meeting to order. Staff, can we get a roll call?
I have a Chair Ganella,
Here?
Vice Chair Garton,
Here.
Board Member Montanti is absent. Board Member Anderson,
Here.
Board Member Bolton is
Here.
joined. Okay. Board Member Roberts,
Here.
Board Member Ramirez,
Here.
and Main Street Meredith would be absent today. We have a quorum.
Okay. All right, so any public comments? Is there anyone on from the public who'd like to make comment? Going once, going twice? Okay, seeing none. Any board comments? Any of the board members have comments that they'd like to make at this time? David Anderson.
Quick question. Somebody came up to me the other day and asked, at a time was, at some point in the past, were there more outdoor toilets available on VillageFest nights? Like porta-johns or whatever they're called?
Not that I recall. Anyone else? Faith, I guess that's a question for you.
I'll answer that. So no, the amount of portalets that we currently have out there is the most that we've ever had. We have a trailer that is owned by VillageFest that gets put out every week. And that goes on Arenas Road. And then we have been substituting with some additional porta potties that get delivered from Burtech every week. So we have probably the most out now. We try and last week, I believe the trailer had an issue on the way down. So we only had the porta potties out. But this week we should have both sets out.
Okay, maybe that's what somebody was referring to.
And there's 3 or 4 toilets now, which are new with.
Yeah, I
with
pointed that out.
That we didn't have before as well.
Definitely knew that. Thank you. Just thought I'd ask.
Okay.
I have a question for Jasmine. Anything new on the in-person meetings?
No, we don't have, I haven't received any updates. I did follow up with the city clerk's office after our last meeting, and she said she would let me know as soon as she got a verbal from city council that it was okay to start in person.
Yeah, and I spoke with, emailed with Grace Gardner, and she said the issues were recording equipment and space in City Hall.
I'll follow up with that.
Thank you.
Jasmine, do you think we're gonna have contention for that room, you know, the room that we used to meet in that records because all of the boards are meeting at 5:30 now?
There shouldn't be. The way they set it up when they moved everybody to 5:30 should have continued to reflect a schedule for all commissions and boards to meet on their regular days, just at the 5:30 time.
Okay,
But I'll
that's true
confirm.
because they don't all meet every week or every 2 weeks.
Right.
Twice a month, some of them are only once a month. That's true. It should be able to work out. Okay.
Every once in a while, we ran into an issue with the business retention. It's a business retention committee, I believe. And I don't, they're not necessarily a board or commission by the city.
Yeah. Because that meeting used to be subsequent to our 3:30 meeting, if you recall.
Right, right.
Yep, okay. All right. Okay, any other comments, any board members? Going once, going twice, okay. Any correspondence for us to review or discuss? Staff, Faith? Faith is on mute.
We have none.
Okay, perfect. And as far as the consent calendar report on the agenda and approval of the minutes, I'll have to recuse myself because I missed the last meeting for that. Any comments or issues with the agenda or the minutes from the last meeting? Anyone get to review them? Who was there? Okay. So who wants to make a motion to approve them?
I move that we approve the minutes and the
Okay.
agenda.
Moved by Celia, seconded. Anybody?
I will second that.
By Chris. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, none opposed? All right. Okay, moving right along, is Teresa Ventura on with us? No? Okay, we'll move to the next one.
Oh,
Okay. What?
she is.
You're on mute, Teresa.
Oh, hi, Teresa. I see you waving, sorry. You're on mute. You have to unmute your audio.
There you go.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, perfect.
Okay, very well. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. I'm
Hello.
Teresa Ventura. Is
Okay,
that better?
so you
Can you
have
guys
3
hear me?
minutes. Yeah, you have 3 minutes to make your pitch for, just to tell us what your business is about and what you're going to be selling at Village, or what you'd like to sell at Village Fest, and the board will ask questions.
Oh, that's right. Well, I applied to be a vendor for your famous Village Fest held every Thursday on Main Street. I am currently a candle maker, and I'm doing this for about a year now, and I love sharing my beautiful handcrafted signature scents. I have about, I want to say 10 different scents, ranging from floral scents to citrusy scents to woody masculine scents. And I would love to present my candles to your community in Palm Springs. Let me show you really quick my candles. They're actually right behind me.
Sure, perfect.
These are my candles, and right now I actually just made this one yesterday, so I haven't cut off the wicks, but normally it's already dried up, as you can see, and I normally just put this top on here, and there's my nice cute candle.
Okay.
Do you guys have any questions for me?
Do you have different sizes? They all one size?
I do. I have another 2 different sizes. Let me show you really quick. They're right behind me, as you can see
Okay,
in my shelves.
take your time.
So I have this little this 6-ounce candle, like a simple little jar,
Mhm.
the little wick right there. And then I have this one, which is an 8-ounce with a lid, more of
Yeah.
a fancy little cute jar.
Mhm.
And then I have the big boy, which is this guy. And well, let me show you another one. That one, the color already melted, but this one, it's a glass jar with my pillar inside it, with my wick pillar inside it. So yeah, those are my candles, and I love to present them to your community and be part of the Village Festival.
And you
Can I
price,
ask you where else that you sell those candles?
I have not sell them in public. This is gonna be my first time I would sell them at a public event, but I've basically been selling candles. Been making candles for about a year as a hobby, and now I feel like I mastered my skills at producing the exact scents that I want, my signature scents. So now I would like to start, selling them in public
And are
at
you
your Village
selling
Fest.
them through any retail outlets here in Palm Springs?
No, I'm not.
Or-
No.
okay.
This is gonna be my first
Okay.
launch. I don't sell online. I've never sold before, and I'm very excited. I've just sold to friends and family members, and they love it.
Great. Awesome.
and what
Any
is
other
your price? What is your price point?
This one right here, this one is gonna retail, I'm thinking anywhere like $9.99 to, I wanna say $12.99, the little 6-ounce. And then for the cute little jar one, the 8-ounce, I wanna sell it, I don't know, $18 to $20.
So your application only had listed 2, a 6-ounce and a 6-ounce scented candle for quantity at 20. I wasn't sure.
Oh, this is the little guy.
Okay.
That's the 6-ounce,
Correct, yes.
but I don't understand what the difference is between 4 of them are for $20.
Oh,
And
that was
one
a
of them-
promotion. Yeah, that was a promotion. That one is the single one for $10, and then 4 of them for 20. Or yeah, I'm still
Okay. Yeah.
finalizing the price on them, but wanted to see your input on
Okay.
that. Not sure
I
if that falls within.
Didn't
that.
understand. It doesn't. I wasn't clear what your application mentions, and then what you were showing us looks like 4 different sizes and shapes.
Oh, it's just 3 different ones. Just this one, and the one with the chain.
Okay, 'cause
I think, sorry, David, go ahead.
I was just kidding, your application only has the 2 listed. And then my other question is a general, are they all white or do they have other colors?
No, they're all white. I don't dye them. I go for the very natural look.
Yep.
The wax is just a very natural look, very, very natural look. Yeah.
Teresa, I
Did-
think the thing that David was confused about is that on your application, you have 6-ounce wax scented candle, $18. Then underneath that, you have 6-ounce wax scented candles, 4 quantity for 20. I think he was confused by, are you selling 1 for 18, but then 4 for 20 of the same size?
Oh, that must have been a little typo on the application. Did you want me to do you want me to
No,
correct
It's
the application?
necessary.
We need it to be accurate.
Oh, okay. I'll go ahead and resend it to Faith if you guys would like me to.
Faith, does the price listing really matter on the application? Do you need that updated? No, I didn't think, okay.
But the sizes are
Yeah.
not what she's describing.
Yeah, actually, you know what? You should really list the sizes, and the reason being that should you introduce any new products or variation on the product, you would have to apply to have that juried. So you can't just, like, in other words, if you change to something else or add something, add sculpted candles and shapes or something, then you'd have to come
Make
back.
something for a holiday theme or something.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So I think
But-
with today's, we could definitely approve the 3 sizes that you've already shown us. But if you add anything else, a different size, color, whatever, then you'd have to come back before the board.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Understood. Thank you for that.
And if you could just have a quick conversation with Faith by phone and articulate what the sizes are, and she can actually manually update on your application and leave it there like that. That's fine.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. I'll go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Thank you guys.
I was wondering the same thing, David. So I'm glad
No,
you
I'm
did.
glad you guys brought it up. That way we're on the same page.
Anyone
I'm
have any
glad.
other questions for Teresa?
Teresa, you said you have 10 different scents, right?
Correct, yes.
Are they labeled on the glass so people can figure out what they're smelling?
Yes.
I didn't see any labels on the ones you showed us.
Oh, no, I haven't added the labels, but the label will go right here. You see that flat?
Okay.
curve?
Look,
Yeah,
okay.
they'll go right there.
And you've only done white. Just out of curiosity, why? Why not experiment with other colors?
You know what? I've always been a fan of the very natural classic candle look. And I feel that with white, the glass is able to resemble its beauty, such as in, let me find this one. For example, this one. Because I tried it in different colors, and aesthetically, it just looks more pleasing and more beautiful, in my opinion. So I decided to just opt for the white classic color, without any dyes or anything like that.
One last question. I'm sorry to keep asking, but maybe I'm not
No, go
clear.
ahead. I love when people ask me questions. Go ahead.
You're in Beverly Hills now, right? Do you have a place out here?
No, I don't. No, I'm not in Palm Springs now.
Have you been to Village Fest on a hot August Thursday evening
Not
when
in
it could be
August.
110
No.
degrees?
I have been out there, I want to say last month, when the whole spring break hotness was at its peak. I was there.
But you haven't been in a summer Thursday for 3 or 4 hours, maybe 5 when you include setup. I'm a little concerned that you're going to have a bowl full of liquid wax at the end of a couple of Thursdays.
Oh,
Has anybody thought of that, or is that on anyone else's concern?
No, I thought you were intending to come to Village Fest until it got too hot. I thought that's what I read on your
Now,
application.
her letter has the entire year, June
Okay.
through September and October through May.
That's sort of on her, isn't it? I mean, that's not for us to decide if she wants to.
That's why I asked if has she ever had her candle outside for more than 6 hours, 100 degrees plus?
Yeah. In regards to that, when you talk about like a very hot summer weather, what kind of temperature are we talking about maximum?
It can be 100 degrees up until midnight.
Oh, that's definitely fine. My paraffin has a melting point of 125 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm definitely sure that could handle that.
And Faith, we have other candle vendors. Does anyone have a problem in the summer, or do they not come in the summer because it's?
We have some that do both, some that just with other products like beauty products and things like that, some that can stay through the summer and some that don't. They figure it out. They figure it out as they're there, and they'll let me know.
Yeah, and you could figure that out, Teresa, as.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not, if they,
Sorry.
yeah, so they're not limited to, if they put those months on there, they're not limited to that. Once they're approved, they can participate how they like, so.
Okay, perfect. Any other questions, anyone? Okay, can we get a motion on the floor? I make a motion that we approve Teresa Ventura to sell her candles at VillageFest.
Second.
Seconded by John. All in favor, aye.
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 Any opposed?
I'm gonna abstain.
Okay. All right, so the next, thank you, Teresa, and congratulations, you are approved. You'll be in touch with Faith and she'll get you set up for orientation and for a start date, okay?
Okay. Thank you
Great,
guys.
thanks very much.
Appreciate it.
You can stay on and listen, or you can drop, it's up to you, okay?
Okay, I'll stay in. Here a
Thanks
bit.
very much. Okay, the next one is illustrated playing cards, Aaron Trotter.
Hello.
Aaron Trotter.
Hi.
Hi, Aaron.
Oh, hi there. Okay, Aaron, you have 3 minutes to show us your product and tell us what it is that you want to sell at VillageFest, and then we'll ask questions.
Great. Well, thanks for letting me have another go at this. I was in Texas last month making sketches for a new deck, but I do have the Palm Springs deck of cards is ready. I fold each box and they're all signed and numbered on the back. And each card in the deck is a different place. And I'm going to come around and show you a little bit more in detail, but I set up my booth inside my office to give you an idea of what it looks like. And on the back of all the cards, they're the same. So you can actually play cards with this deck. And I have a poster that shows all the cards. And it comes with 4 map cards, which identify all the places. And there's 4 index cards, which correspond with the deck. And then I've traveled the world drawing all these cities. Each set has 52 different sketches that I made on location. And it usually takes about 1 week to walk around and sketch all the places.
Mhm.
And this is the deck that's spread out on the table here.
So all the cards are different in a deck.
Yes,
Wow.
Interesting.
I did all the.
I thought you were just doing your art on the back side. I see. Oh, very interesting. Okay. So there's a lot more art here involved than I originally.
Absolutely. That's a lot of art.
Yeah.
And I've been doing this for 12 years. I started with a deck for Portland, Oregon. That's where I'm based. That's where my printer is based. And I started doing markets, and then I started meeting travelers from around the world who said, oh, what about my city? And so I've taken it upon myself to visit all these cities and make sketches. And my favorite part of the job is meeting people at the markets and hearing other traveler stories. But I love to come down once a month and do the Village Fest. I do other markets in Venice Beach and Topanga Vintage Market and Monterey Bay. Their Tuesday Alvarado Market. And
Very
yeah.
cool. Excellent. Wow. I'm impressed. Okay. Anyone have any questions for Aaron?
Aaron, I see that first of all, I want to say it's beautiful. I'm really, really impressed. I think it's so unique and so Palm Springs. And I love the fact that other cities are there that you can also sell at the same time for, people want to get something from home or another visit somewhere. Question was, the $20 price point looks great, but I don't think you've shown us, you mentioned in your letter about postcards and 8x11 prints. Are you going to be selling those, and what's the price?
I've ordered them.
Oh,
They're
no,
not.
you did.
they're not
I am
printed
so
yet.
sorry. I see it right there.
They're
Totally. I see it. They're great. This is amazing stuff.
well, I do. So these are postcards for a different city, but I have their actual postcard size. They have a gloss print. They're blank on the back with the little address lines. And I will have the postcards and the prints available with the decks next week. If you like my work, if you want to see me there that soon, or I can come down once a month, so I'm available.
Okay, well, you would work that part out with Faith, but that's perfectly fine. I mean, there's no issue with that at all.
And in January, February, I'd love to be there. I could be there every Thursday.
Awesome. I think your cards are going to do really well. I work in the museum store and we sell cards, decks of cards all the time. People are always asking for them. So this is very unusual and unique, and I think you'll do really well.
And it's
Thanks.
a great lightweight souvenir to pick up, to bring home to people after you visit. Very cool. Love it. I think it's great.
Love
And and if I'm not mistaken, it'll be unique because you'll be the only one at Village Fest that's doing this. Am I right, Faith?
I've never seen anyone selling cards like what I have. I mean,
Awesome. Great.
I've studied
Okay,
history
anyone-
playing cards, but I just keep drawing. That's the main thing. I play solitaire, but mostly I like to draw and I love to travel, and I connect with other travelers. And I know that Palm Springs is a hub of international visitors, and I love that.
Very cool. Excellent. Anyone have any other questions before we put a motion on the floor here? Okay, can I get a motion?
I'd like to motion. I think it's amazing
Thank you.
Make your motion.
to accept Aaron Trotter's playing cards and hand done artwork.
Thank you. Okay. Motion by David Anderson, second. Do I have a second?
I'll
Seconded
second.
by Chris Ramirez.
Okay.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain? No? Okay, perfect. Congratulations, Aaron.
Thank you so
Welcome to the
much.
street. We will see you at Village Fest. You'll work out with Faith to have your orientation and to set up a start date and to get you positioned, okay?
Great. Looking forward to it. Thank you so much.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Goodbye, Aaron.
Beautiful
Bye.
stuff. Okay, next person, Charming Smiles of La Quinta, Dr. Nito. Dr. Nito is on, but
Needs to unmute,
you are,
unmute.
yes. Doctor, you are muted, audio, and can you start your video as well, please?
Hi, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
We can't see you though.
I know I don't have a camera on my computer.
Okay. Okay, so you have 3 minutes to just explain to us what it is that you want to do at Village Fest.
Okay, so yeah, hi everyone. All I wanna do is we are a new dental office in the desert, and we're planning just to take some cards and some biographies of the doctors that work here and just give it to the people in the festival. So we are not selling anything. We're not selling any product. We just want to let people know that we're here, and that's about it. Maybe give some personal cards and some biography.
Faith, I didn't notice when I looked at the package if there was any photos of the booth setup or anything. Did I miss that?
Mm, I'm just sorry. Could you repeat it?
No, I was asking Faith. I was asking Steph. Is it, was there something in the package with the setup of the booth, Faith?
Let me check.
I didn't notice.
She just did like a mock-up. There was gonna be a table with toothbrushes and
Okay. All right, no, all right, I see.
a cleaning stuff.
Okay, so, Doctor, the one question I had is that in reading your documentation, it says that you're targeting clientele in the La Quinta and Palm Desert area. Are you expecting to get clientele as well from the Palm Springs area? And are you also aware of the fact that at Village Fest is not just locals, but it's largely visitors, vacationers?
Okay. Well, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
and is
so,
that gonna work for you?
Well, we wanna try. We don't know what
Okay.
to expect, but we just wanna try and see how that works.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions for Dr. Nito? Okay, can I get a motion on the floor here?
I move that we accept this commercial vendor into Village Fest.
Okay, motion by Celia Garten. Can I get a second? I'll second. Okay. Let's get a vote. All in favor? Aye.
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 Any abstaining or any dissenting vote?
Not everybody's voting. Why is that?
Have we, and this is probably a staff question, are there other similar dental or medical practices or chiropractic services that are participants or vendors?
But we have had them in the past.
We've had them, yes.
We have a commercial vendor category, and that's the category they've fallen into. We've had dentists, we've had doctors' offices, we've had real estate agents, all different sorts of things.
Maybe it's a historical question, but if we don't now, how long did they last and why were they?
Well, commercial vendors, as you know, they pay a significant price. So they pay $252 per night. So sometimes they come once a month, sometimes they come every couple months. It just depends on what their budget is.
Yeah, it's really not our job to decide whether a commercial vendor merits being on the street or not. It's part of the process. And if they go through the appropriate application process, then I don't think we can just summarily reject people.
Yes, they're there just to market their business and try to get clients to come to their business. And we have done it for a real estate vendor we had very recently as well.
We've done it for a lot of commercial vendors, and it's not our job to decide this is a good vendor or that's not. We just need to, if they go through the appropriate process and they're approved and they do the application process, then they get the same treatment that everybody else gets.
Absolutely. All right, I'm going to try the vote one more time. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Congratulations, Dr. Nito. We will see you on the street. You will work out with Faith for your orientation and to get you set up on a start date, okay?
Okay,
Welcome
thank
to
you.
Village
Thank you
Fest.
very
Thank you.
much.
Thank
Okay.
you.
All right, the next vendor is Sweet Aloha April Griner with handmade body butter. Is April on?
April
Oh,
Greister.
there you are. Hi.
Aloha, everybody.
Aloha.
I'm a returning vendor. I started in 2010.
Yep.
And I think I went through 2017 and took a few years off, or more than that, actually. So I really am coming back with the same product. I created a beautiful fragrance reminiscent of a fresh Hawaiian lei.
Yep.
It's all about Hawaii at my booth. But this time I'm coming back without a whole line of products. I'm just coming back with my most popular product that everyone seemed to love, the Shane Cocoa Body Butter with the beautiful fresh Hawaiian lei fragrance. But through the years, people kept asking for coconut. So I've added coconut, a coconut pineapple fragrance to my line, Hawaiian lei, and an unscented. They're all going to be in 2 sizes, a 3-ounce travel size and a 1 or 1.5-ounce travel size. I stand up from the booth and I say aloha, enjoy a sample for dry skin, and people enjoy it and either come back or don't. But it's great for the desert, the dry climate. And I've been selling at VillageFest for 7-8 years. And since then, I've been at a farmer's market or 2 and Hawaiian festivals. And it's my passion, the beautiful scent of a Hawaiian lei. And I think, well, I know I delivered a couple jars when I submitted my application, but I don't know if Faith had given you a chance to try it yet or not. So I'm not able to do that here over the phone.
We got to smell them. They were they were wonderful.
Yes, really smelled good. I
Yeah.
actually wanted to eat it. That's
Yeah.
how good it smelled.
Without the wowie, of course. The
Yeah.
pineapple coconut, and
Yeah.
then a Hawaiian lei in the white jar. And I also give a complimentary flower clip with every purchase. These things only cost me 10 cents. I love giving a gift to my customers.
Very nice.
That's what they get. Yeah, and the jars are $20 for the 3-ounce, and the smaller jars are gonna be 10, but I always offer a special if they buy 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also created a vegan Hawaiian chocolate candy bar line that eventually I'm going to be introducing to VillageFest. But I'm just
Okay,
starting.
so if those are not part of it now of your
No, it's not. I
application,
just wanted to mention that.
then you'll have to come back to have
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
rejoin talk. Perfect. Okay. Anyone have any questions?
No, I just want a jar. It was
I
so,
know, it smells so
I
good.
wanted to rub it all over myself. It was so nice.
Very nice. Okay, so
Where did you learn? I'm just out of curiosity. Where did you learn your skill?
My skill? Which skill are we speaking of?
Yeah, creating a body butter. I mean, how does one go about doing that?
Well, it's funny because I'm surprised you haven't asked me about the fragrance, because when I wanted to create this product, it was from going to Hawaii tons of times, and just the most exciting thing for me was getting my Hawaiian lei, the tuberose lei. And I searched the stores and I couldn't find anything that reminded me of it. And I'm like, oh my God, I guess I'm going to have to hire a chemist and create my own fragrance line. And then I found out that there are companies that sell fragrance in bulk, and they sell butters and creams and lotions and body mist and body oil all in bulk. So I don't have to make anything from scratch, but I did create the fragrance. It's my own unique blend. And then I buy the bases, I blend in my fragrance, I jar everything. I created the labels, design my own labels. So that's how I do it. And that's, when I first got approved, they knew from the start that my body butter was a base as well as everything else.
okay.
Good.
All right, let's get a motion on the floor here.
I move that we accept body butter, what is it? Sweet Aloha into VillageFest.
So moved by Celia Garden, seconded by Greg Roberts. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
April, welcome back to VillageFest, and we'll see you on the street again, I will say, because I know that you were a former vendor and used to sell there. Thank you so much. You'll work it through with Faith, and she'll get you set up for the orientation and for a start date, okay? Okay, so next vendor on our docket is, who do we have here? Trinity Teas, Philip Davila, pre-packed teas. Hi, Philip. Can you unmute, please? Because we cannot hear you.
Okay, I'm there.
Hello. Okay. Philip is applying as a farmer's market vendor, so of course the handmade craft standard does not apply. So you have 3 minutes, Philip, to tell us about your product and what you want to do with VillageFest.
Hi guys, I'm Philip with Trinity Loose Leaf Teas, and I'm from Marietta, Temecula area in Riverside County. And we currently do some farmers markets during peak season, and your area in Coachella Valley, actually, Palm Desert, Indian Wells, Rancho Mirage, Palm Springs, then La Quinta. So we're already there in that area. And I think it would be a great addition to be able to add Thursday nights. And then it would help me to just be able to be in the area and touch base with my customers. And so one of my main selling products is actually a blend that we make in-house. This is I don't know if you can see it there. It's called a golden milk latte. And it's a blend. It's very simple, but it's very powerful. It's ginger, turmeric, and cinnamon. And people go through a lot of inflammation. And what sets my blend apart from other versions that Whole Foods or Sprouts may carry is the fact that I keep the blend very simple so that the whole family can enjoy it. So kids come up and they try a little sample. I blend it with the vanilla almond milk, and we have a commercial kitchen to do all that. And then I take the samples to the market. And so they try it, the dads try it, the moms try it, the kids try it, and they love it. So not only does it taste good, then they realize, oh my gosh, this actually is really healthy for me, but it tastes great. So that's one of my main components to being able to attract customers. And I get a lot of repeat business because of that. So that's very, very nice. And that's generally what happens at most of my markets. And then I have other blends, like a detox herbal blend. It's just non-caffeinated, might have spearmint in it, linden blossom, rose petals, things like that. And then, teas in general, you can go green teas, black teas, herbal teas. And I'd love to be able to be a part of Thursday nights. One, because it actually helps me to supplement my income, just being honest with you guys, since most of my markets that are there in that area are closed from May to September. So you can see I probably lose at least half of my income during that time. So, and I still have the same amount of commercial kitchen expenses and running a small business. So I always tell my customers I'm a small business owner, but not small-minded. And aside from all that, I love talking to people. I love meeting new customers. And I do get a variety of, like even in Temecula, we sell over here in Old Town Temecula on Saturday mornings at the farmer's market. And we have a combination of tourists and regulars that live in the area and both buy and both, love my product. So hopefully that answered your question.
Is it all bulk packaged? Are there any, is it tea bags or is it bulk?
Oh, it's bulk. So like, let's say this is a blend right here. This is a 2-ounce size. And so then it's heat sealed right here at the top. And so they'll go home and that's loose leaf tea. So they'll go home and brew it wherever they call home.
Are you planning to sell any tea bowls or anything like that to go along with it?
I think I put on the application, I may have put on their tea accessories.
Yes, you did. That's what I was wondering what that meant.
So yeah, that might be, actually, I like to give away little recyclable tea bags that are
yes.
disposable.
I know what you mean.
Because especially with tourists, they'll say, oh, I want to buy your teas. I'm here for a week, but I don't have anything to make my tea. And I just give it to them as an added bonus.
Gotcha.
Okay. I do have some ceremonial tea matcha bowls, but those are far and few that when I sell those, that's not a regular moving product.
But if you think you're going to have them at Village Fest, then we just want to add them to your application. Otherwise, if you add a new item, you have to come back and be rejuried to add that item before you can bring it to your table.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be adding that. On there, I have superfoods, which the golden milk latte qualifies as a superfood since technically it's not a tea. And then I have teas on there, and then I have tea accessories. So a little tea steeper per cup and a little free tea bag that I give away.
Perfect.
And that's the essence of it.
Are you planning to serve any prepared beverages as well, or just packaged?
The only sampling I do, and I have a health permit for that, is I have a little 3/4 of an ounce cup. So it's not even 1 ounce.
So that's
and
fine. I was wondering if
it.
you were going to be selling beverages that people would take away.
No bottle drinks.
Okay, perfect. Okay. I'm good. Any questions from anyone else?
I've had his product before, Dan, and it's very good. Hello, by the way.
Hi, Julie. Welcome.
Hi, Julie.
Thank you. Hi.
Okay.
Thanks, Julie.
Well, you got an endorsement from one of our board members.
I endorse. I'm a huge fan for 2 years now at the Village Fest, or at the farmer's market. And I found out about
there you go.
Oh wow, what farmer's market? What is that?
Away.
Wow. What farmer's market is that?
The one in Palm Springs.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
And
Great.
I think you probably just started maybe 2 or 3 years ago there.
Yeah, we did. This is technically my 3rd year, I believe. But originally, I started teaching the golden milk, the powder blend. I actually originally started teaching people how to take the turmeric root in itself and the ginger root and work with it at home. And it just transformed into the blend. And I was just so happy. People didn't know what turmeric root looked like.
Yeah.
And that was around the time Dr. Oz started talking about turmeric and its anti-inflammatory benefits. And people started getting excited. And then so that added to the bandwagon of wanting to make the blend. And then people started coming back and telling me they were getting results. So that's kind of how that got started. And I'm so glad that people are enjoying it. It's pretty cool.
I am a
So-
huge tea fan. I love this stuff. I drink gallons every day.
I'll be honest, I'm drinking some kombucha right now. I got out there. I got it on the market. I didn't want you guys to think I was drinking alcohol earlier if you saw me pouring. It's a kombucha.
I just thought it was
Well,
moonshine,
actually-
but that's okay.
Actually-
Anybody have any other questions or comments?
Actually, turmeric, he started is better than the capsule form because the powder goes into your system better and reduces pain and inflammation all through the body.
Mhm.
So I really like his product.
Great. All right, can we get a motion on the floor? I'll make a motion. I make a motion that we accept Phillips to sell his teas at Village Fest.
I'll second.
Seconded by Julie. All in favor?
I
Any opposed? Okay. Congratulations, Philip.
Thank you.
Welcome to Village Fest. We'll see you on the street and you'll work out with Faith for your orientation and on the start date, okay?
All right. Thank you, guys. God bless you. Thank you, Faith. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Great product. Okay, so our next vendor on the docket is Perfect Pint. G. Jordan Penitov. I'm hoping I'm getting that right, Penitov. Frozen custards, which I'm a huge fan of, but is Jordan on with us? Hello?
He's online, but he may have walked away.
Oh, this was him? Yeah, Jordan, yeah. Okay. All right, you know what, then we'll just come right back to Jordan when he gets back. In the meantime,
Very
Rooted
good.
in Palm Springs, huh?
I thought I saw him coming.
Oh. No.
Jordan?
Rooted in Palm Springs, Lindsay. Oh, never mind, let's
There's
go
Jordan.
back. Here we go. Jordan, how are you?
So sorry about that. I had to go lock the door.
No worries. Okay, so tell us a little bit about Perfect Pint. You have 3 minutes. Tell us about that, about your product and how you'd like to market it at Village Fest.
Beautiful, beautiful. My name's Jordan. My wife's name is Gabrielle. I am a sommelier. She is a
Oh
chef.
my God.
This time last year, around January, we started making frozen custard in our apartment. Fast forward to now, we have a beautiful store in Palm Desert. We supply frozen custard to La Quinta Cliff House, both LG's steakhouses, La Quinta Resort, the Vintage Club, Mission Hills, and a slew of other fine dining places. We do the Palm Desert Farmers Market. We've done the Vintage Market. We've done COD Market. We've done over 200 different pop-ups, so we're no strangers to pop-ups. To your question earlier, I've lived here since 1998, so I know what an August summer feels like on a Thursday night. We sell products in 2 sizes and everything comes pre-packaged. We have a pint and we have a half pint. This is our first generation packaging where we actually still print the stickers. And yesterday we received our new packaging, which is much more professional and much fancier. And that's probably what we're going to be able to bring Thursday night. I did submit a price sheet to Faith. We have undergone a price increase since then. So it's going to be 17 for the pint and 10 for the half pint. Everything is made from scratch. My wife makes it in 25 pint increments. I've just hired a sous chef from the last restaurant I worked at, who now works with us. We have 24 different flavors, from Grand Marnier to Amaretto to Nutella s'mores, horchata mazapan. My friend owns a date farm, and we have a date flavor. Most recently, we just partnered with Brandini toffee, and now we have an official Brandini toffee collab flavor.
Very cool.
I am aware that Gelato Granucci sells product as well. Gelato is standard, very, very different from custard.
Yep.
Our product is made with 75% cream, egg yolks, and about 30 to 40% less sugar. We don't use emulsifiers, gums, or binders, whereas gelato is made from 100% milk, uses a lot more sugar, and we'll use agar gum as a binder. It's a completely different product. That said, we're just really, really, really want to get in on Thursday night. So come on, let's vote on this.
So are you going to be, you said you don't need any electrical hookups. You said that. On
That's correct.
You just have
So-
dry ice or?
No, not even. We use Yeti coolers and refrozen ice packs. So there's no mess, no electricity requirements. With the Yeti coolers, we can stay 6 to 8 hours. We can preserve the ice cream, no problem.
Wow.
Well, those things are $500 each, so they have paid for themselves, believe that. And because we've done so many pop-ups, the way that our brand literally grew out of our apartment. At one point, we had 3 freezers in our 600 square foot condo living room, and we're getting cease and desist letters from the health department, and all kinds of stuff was going on. But we are like pop-up veterans. We have a beautiful pop-up. I think I submitted to Faith where you can see our cool little tent with lights, and no problem at all to keep the ice cream cold.
It's not a requirement, but I just have a question. Will you be providing insulated bags or anything for people to bring them? Because don't forget that you're walking through VillageFest. So I could see myself in July picking up a
Correct. So-
pint from you, but then what do?
We're not going to be providing them. So really half the reason is to drive people to the store. The traffic we're off
Okay, understood.
Palm Desert, but we do sell the half pint containers, which are single serving. So people at that point we have spoons, we have napkins,
Yep.
people just eat it as they walk around.
So it'll never make it home.
Hopefully not, hopefully not.
Got it. Okay. Good to know.
And what are the flavors again?
I have
Jordan, what are the flavors again?
24 different flavers. So I'm going to
Please not read the whole list of 24 flavors though.
I'll read
Don't
5.
worry, I didn't realize.
If you go to our website, Perfect Pint 760, the whole menu's posted on the website.
Got it.
Perfect Pint 760.
.com. Yeah, .com.
Great. I'm really looking forward to it because I am an ice cream maniac and I do make my own because I can't really get what I
Ooh.
want.
Here comes a
So-
new challenger.
I make
Oh, I
my
don't want
own
to make
too.
my own.
I do too.
Yeah.
I want
Um,
to come to you to get it.
Well, we only use French or Belgian chocolate. We only use the highest quality ingredients. Like I said, our recipe is 3/4 cream.
Yeah,
Cream is 5 to 1 what milk costs.
yeah.
Additionally, my wife will turn every pot into custard. That takes 2 hours with a thermometer and a very careful hand.
yeah.
So you're gonna truly, I wish I could sample the product through the TV screen, but I unfortunately
We do
cannot.
too. We do too.
This is one of the reasons why we're
We don't
anxious
want
to
it-
get
yeah.
back in person to the meetings that you
Exactly.
have been bringing us ice cream with
Yeah.
and spoiling our dinner. Perfect. All right. Any questions? Anyone else? I'm very excited about this, Jordan. This is awesome. Greg?
Dan, I'd like to move that we add Perfect Pint to Village Fest.
So moved by Greg Roberts. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by, I think Chris beat you because he raised his hand. Julie,
Go
you know
ahead.
we're only seeing your forehead, but I do love your forehead.
Thank you.
Okay. All
I
right.
did get
So
Botox.
let's take a vote. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstaining? Okay. Congratulations, Jordan. I'm dying to try your product.
Thank you. We're
What
very
I'm going to be
flattered.
doing is going to the pizza guy that makes the 00 Napolitan pizza, and then I'll be having my ice cream after.
I love his
Down the
pizza.
road.
We just did a pop-up with him at Southwest Church.
Luigi,
up
yeah, he's
local.
great.
His pizza's fantastic. Really
Yeah.
outstanding.
It's the real deal, just like I'm sure your ice cream.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Faith, I won't be able to start this Thursday because we're actually doing a big event at JFK Hospital. Every single hospital worker is getting Perfect Pint, but next Thursday we're on.
Okay, so you'll work it through with the face and she'll get you set up for your orientation and everything. Excellent.
Beautiful.
congratulations. We'll see you on the
Thank
street.
you all. I really,
Thank you, Jordan.
thank you all for
Jordan.
the opportunity. I'm very
Thank
grateful
you.
to you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We love having an artisanal product like this there too. Okay, so without further ado, rooted in Palm Springs, Lindsay.
Hi there. Hi, VillageFest.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Dean, hi, how are you?
I'm Tom Bosch, and this is my wife, Lindsay Bosch. We're here to represent Rooted in Palm Springs on behalf of ourselves and also our two business partners. Is it okay if I share a quick screen share? It's probably the best just to show some of our products in the best light. Is that okay?
Jasmine, can you accommodate that?
I can try. I'm trying to remember how we did that last time. Give me 1 second.
If you click on participants, then it should say you can switch the host to us.
Well, she could just allow you to share as well.
Okay, see if that works.
All right, I'm gonna go. So. Sure. Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Tom, are you able to share from the share button on the bottom of the screen?
It's not letting us. It says only basic.
Oh, one more.
Mine says all participants can share, but if you want to just send it to either Faith or myself, we can share.
Let me try this.
If you have it open as a window on your screen.
Okay, it wouldn't let us do the presentation mode, but if you're okay this way, can you see it in our keynote deck?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
All right.
We'll hold up. We have the product in person too, but it just looks a lot better in the photos.
Great. Well, thanks guys. Thanks for your time. So we started Rooted in Palm Springs about a year ago. We've been selling mainly at Vintage Market since fall. We've also been doing a variety of pop-ups across town at different events. We've been at Flannery Exchange, as well as the Taste of Palm Springs event. And we're also selling wholesale in a couple stores. So we started this brand about a year ago with a couple of our business partners. And the whole idea behind it was starting to create some goods and apparel that are really capturing the essence of the desert, the magic of the landscape, the rich culture, the history, and everything that surrounds our desert community. We've been desert locals out here for about 4 years. We're also married out here and been coming here a long, long time. So we're Berea transplants. So we started this, as I said, about a year ago. I'm a full-time graphic designer and artist. I've been in retail and design for over 20 years. We also run a local design studio and agency called Bosch Studios, which is kind of our full-time gig. So we actually ended up partnering with one of our clients and started creating this brand. And, we started, like I said, selling at Vintage and such. And it's really just taken off. There's been a lot of local buzz around it. There's been a lot of things that we've designed that people have asked for more of. And it's just started to grow and expand. So, let me see if I can navigate. I'm trying to get to my next slide here. So let me talk to you a little bit through our design process. So everything we do, nothing that you see is stock art, clip art, anything that's out there currently. Everything is designed from scratch. As I mentioned, I've been an artist for many, many years. So everything starts in this conceptual phase. I draw everything in a concept stage. And then that gets digitized onto the computer and I explore a lot of different styles, colors, layouts, all that good stuff. And then we source really high quality clothing from a variety of different types of brands, depending upon the ultimate style of the shirt that we're going for and what that audience is. And then everything is meticulously crafted through that process to select the garments, to come up with color palettes. We work with a variety of local printers very, very closely through that process. We go there and help mix the colors to try to get the best quality that we can, as well as through the screen printing process. Everything is done in that hands-on mode. Nothing is done in big, mass-produced quantities. We usually typically start out with smaller runs to kind of see what's the audience is gravitating towards. And then we just sort of go from there. And this thing has started with a few shirts and then really expanded over the last year. So this is sort of our product mix of our signature collection, a variety of different styles, colors, everything very illustrative and very graphic, very expressive. And a lot of times we'll start with one style, as I mentioned, and it'll sort of take off. So this Palm Springsy t-shirt started as a woman's style over on the left, as a ringer tee. It's got kind of that vintage look that did really great at the vintage market. And then people say, hey, you know, we want men's styles or tanks. And that actually led into even creating some beach towels as well. This is another design we started called the Roadrunner Crossing Collection. This actually started as a tote bag. And then people were like, you know, you got to have that as a shirt. And so we started doing shirts. And then, yeah, more than that one. And then, you know, hey, it'd be great in different colors. So we really listened to our audience. And, you know, through selling at Vintage, people were asking, how come you're not at VillageFest? So there's been a lot of buzz around our product. We have an online store, an e-commerce site. We have a pretty good social media following that's been growing over the last couple of months as well. And then we've started doing just small things like stickers as well as totes and things with the shirts. We've also did a Pride collection that we're calling to celebrate the LGBTQ community as well. We plan to be at the Pride event next year. And again, we've been selling currently at the Village, not Village, at
Vintage.
Vintage, thank you. And we've been evolving our display over the past few months, trying to get a little bit more out there. And we've been talking about getting some more racks and those types of things as well to really diversify our setup as well. So yeah, it's been going really well. Again, this is sort of our social media. So we've been growing that quite a bit. And it's not just a brand that's about, you know, selling clothing. It really is about celebrating everything that the desert is. So even in our social media, you know, we'll put stats about Palm Springs, and we'll try to engage with fun facts and try to engage with the community as much as possible. There's been a lot of buzz around some of our pop-ups. Our stuff we've been doing wholesale has been selling out quite a bit. We're in Covet in Flannery Exchange as well. So we're just looking to expand and sort of bring this to the neighborhood community at VillageFest. And then this is some of our branded materials as well.
So I have a question.
Yes.
So are you really a graphic artist taking ideas and putting them on t-shirt? Is that correct?
Yeah, I am a full-time graphic artist, brand designer. We run a brand studio, and that's what we do full-time. And then this sort of started as a side project with actually one of our clients who was came to us, and we started working with her on her business. She was selling succulents before, and then we talked about, you know, she loved our artwork so much. She said, you know, let's take this more into like goods and apparel, because I feel like there's a lot of things, you know, not to bag anything that's out there currently, but there's a lot of things I feel like that are out in downtown that say Palm Springs, but they sort of feel like one-offs that could have been done anywhere. And, you know, what we're trying to bring is that local flavor, that local flair to these goods and products.
So do you actually take people's graphics and other graphics and then you put them on t-shirts? Is that correct?
No, we're creating the designs ourselves. So Tom is an illustrator. So we're actually at our desk right now. So his desk is always full of sketches, things that he's drawing for clients, for t-shirts. So everything starts with a pencil drawing that came out of Tom's head, basically. And then once he gets to a point
what I'm saying is that goes to a client, and then you embellish it for your rack of t-shirts.
We are the client.
We are the client. We're producing it. So we're the brand as well. So we're designing and producing.
Are they copyrighted by you so that?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, we own the artwork.
Yeah, everything is 100% owned. We don't use anything that's stock imagery. There's a lot of stock art out there. Like you might take a palm tree from Adobe stock and put Palm Springs on it. Everything we do starts with a blank sheet of paper and is designed, you know, this design actually here is, you know, what I'm wearing here. So everything starts, you know, from a hand-drawn sketch and then is incorporated onto the computer, and then that's translated onto the garment or product.
But a a client will come to you with an idea, you sketch it out, you draw it out, and you create a brand for that person.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Maybe we confused you because what we were saying is our full-time job is that we are designers for clients, but this is separate than that. We were just telling you that that's our experience and that's our
Right, but
expertise.
I find I'm kind of feeling that you're a graphic artist to go on the street to sell, to do business as whatever you do as your real business.
I disagree, Julie. I think that they're trying to sell their product. I don't think they're trying to sell their business. I think they have product like blank canvas T-shirts that they put their art onto, and totes. So I think.
Yeah, I mean, if you want, we could ease your mind on that. I'm happy to send you our business website. It's very different than what we're doing here. I don't think that we would get any new clients for our other business from doing this.
Yeah, we're not out there to market our design business. We're just selling our brand that we created as a side.
And I think those shirts are pretty classy. For the Palm Springs area, you know, we have a lot of schlocky T-shirts. And I think these are really different, and I think they would do well on the street.
Yeah.
I love the fact that they're locals, that you're, creatives.
Yeah, we really wanted to design something that appeals to tourists, but it's also something that locals will wear with pride because it's things that we love about the desert.
Yeah,
so that's what we really try to achieve.
Very high quality garments as well. We're not using any, the real scratchy, thick, cheap shirts. Everything we do, we source a variety of like Next Level, Bella Canvas, tri-blend shirts. So they're all very, very soft to the touch. We've gotten a lot of compliments on the quality of them as well, and the softness and the overall quality.
My only question is, do you have the actual towel with you?
Yes.
That's like a microfiber type towel.
So is this like a beach towel or a?
It's a beach towel, but it's a little bit of a thinner fabric. It's a microfiber. This one is printed digitally. This is the only thing that isn't screen printed in our collection.
And it's only $20. That blows me away.
Yeah, some people use it as like a yoga mat blanket too.
It's very thin, right?
Yeah, we've kind of been marketing it to tourists as like it fits in a bag really well. If in luggage, it's very lightweight. You can just roll it up. It's smaller than a regular towel.
Yeah, if you're taking it home, you don't want a big bulky item.
Is it large enough to be a tablecloth too?
No, but it could be. Some people said they were going to just hang it on their wall.
Right.
I love it.
Can we move on? Are there any relevant questions for this vendor?
We'll send you one as a tablecloth.
Okay. All right.
I'm in favor, yeah.
Can we get a motion? I'll make a motion. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I move that we accept Rooted in Palm Springs into VillageFest.
And I'll second that. I think it's a very high quality product.
Me too.
Much higher quality.
Thank you so much.
All right, so let's take a vote. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain? No? Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I look forward to seeing your products at VillageFest. You'll work through with Faith on your orientation and a start date. And I'm thrilled that you're doing long sleeve t-shirts. Everybody just does short sleeve here.
Yes, great.
Because we live in air conditioning. I wear long sleeve t-shirts a lot. Right now, so.
Well, we listen to our audience, so anything you guys want, that's what we produce. So.
Okay, excellent.
Correct.
Thanks very much.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
bye.
Congrats. All right, our next vendor, Kyla Biba. Is Kyla on with us? I don't see that. Unless...
Hello.
Oh, there you go. Hi.
It's under my daughter's name. Sorry. I'm Kyla.
Okay, so can you tell us a little bit about the DIY lotion bar and
Yes. I want to do something a little bit different and bring an activity booth to VillageFest. I typically had done craft tables for kids at events, and I didn't think there was kids in Palm Springs, but it turns out there just isn't a lot to do for them. So I'm rebranding my name as a muse. I used to be the craft camper. So I'm not sure how kid-centric it will be or tourists. So I'm going to offer 2 activities, and one, Faith had told me that there was somebody else doing lotion, so I was going to do a sugar scrub instead, because people need that in the desert. So I have like bamboo bowls, and people get to dispense different oils and fragrances and just have that activity. And then it's something that they can scoop into a jar and take home with them. And there's a foam seal. And then I also have craft kits. So these are little craft kits, and for kids, these are priced at $10. The sugar scrub is $15 for the activity. And in the kit, I have enough supplies to make this project. It's called a God's Eye. So it's natural materials. You know, this is yarn and sticks. There's no glue, no mess. So if kids are staying at a hotel or an Airbnb, then it won't mess up anywhere. But it gives the kids something they can do kind of anywhere. They could sit at a restaurant table and do it if they wanted, and then they can carry their project in their cute little box. So I'm just mostly looking for an opportunity to come face to face with visitors and whoever is in Palm Springs, and maybe start doing birthday parties or get a residency at a hotel or, I don't know, some other event. So I just kind of want to get out there and meet people and present what I have to offer. And I can do many different things, but these are my 2 most popular things that I've ever done. So that's why I chose these 2.
So do you have more activity kits other than the one that you just showed us?
Yes, I have another one that so also on my activity kit, I have a QR code that links to a video that I did. So it's on YouTube Kids. So the video technology is new to me, but I have another one that I'm going to do for felted rocks, which sounds not very exciting, but there's always that little breeze outside. And it's another really satisfying project that works for all ages and kids with autism. So this will be the next project to answer your question. And I'll have 2 by the time I get to VillageFest. We'll see how those go.
They can choose from either project then.
Correct.
Okay.
Are you actually making any of the items that go into the craft kits?
There is nothing that I'm making myself. I am prepping things that go into the craft kits. So the sticks these are the sticks that are, corn men use. Yep. And I've hand dyed these with food coloring so that they're non-toxic. Yep. So these have been prepared, and then the yarn I've pre-cut and rolled into a ball.
All right, any questions?
Yeah, this kind of is a not sure whether this is like a commercial vendor, Faith. Does this fall under commercial, or is it a regular craft? It's not.
No, it doesn't fall under commercial. Commercial vendors promote their business, and that's for like, what am I thinking? Like the vendor that was here.
The ice cream. But that sounds like what she wants to do. She wants to promote her.
Commercial vendors aren't allowed to sell anything. They're only allowed to promote their business. Yeah.
So it's more like in arts and crafts.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
Kyla, just for your understanding, we were struggling a little bit. Has nothing to do with you or your process. It's because we have a certain amount of categories, and we were struggling to figure out what category you fall into.
What category?
Because we don't have you're not an entertainment vendor for sure, but we don't have a category for that, but we like it very much, and we think it's very appropriate for VillageFest, especially because VillageFest is frequented by a lot of families with children. If you go there on a Thursday night, you will see that. And
Yes.
so I think it's a great thing to have things for children. So it's not you, it's us. We're just trying to figure out where it falls in. I think arts and crafts probably is the most appropriate, even though it's a little bit of a stretch on our arts and crafts standards, if you will, because it's an artisan craft fair. That's what VillageFest was founded as. So it's typically local artisans who make things and they get to come there and sell them, and they're either making jewelry or they're making art or they're making clothing or they're making, you know, hats and accessories, whatever. So that's why. So I don't want you to feel at all that there's anything wrong with it. It's just that we're struggling because we're bound to a certain list of categories that it doesn't exactly fit into, right? But
I
I'm
understand.
okay with calling this arts and crafts. How do the other board members feel about it?
And Kyla, let me ask you a question. If I came up to you, I was a local.
Yes.
And I said, I'm having a 10-year-old's birthday party. Would you come to my house and do the same service?
Yes, I can provide that service. So
You
that
know,
is
it's famous if you
entertainment.
Go up to a food vendor and say, I'm going to have a party at my house, or if we went to the pizza guy and said, can you actually bring your equipment and serve pizzas at my party? It's just, yeah.
And then the other question is there anything unique that makes it Palm Springs-ish or Coachella Valley-ish? I don't even know. Maybe it's certain kind of sand that's only here and that goes into your scrub. I don't know. Is there anything that's especially unique about Palm Springs?
Well, I definitely know that my skin needs to be lots of lotion. That was one of the first things I noticed when I was out here. Like, oh, I can't get enough lotion. I can't get enough, you know, oils on my skin to get through the dry weather. So that I chose that definitely for specifically Palm Springs. I will, pardon me?
We're getting a tremendous amount of
Oh,
feedback
everybody froze on me.
from someone's phone or computer.
It's the wind.
Oh, can you mute just for a little bit if whoever's out in the wind?
My air conditioning's on. I hope that's not it.
Right,
So typically in the past, pardon me?
Carry on.
So typically in the past, what I've done when there is an event like VillageFest, and in the advertising, they offer free crafts for kids. So I've been sort of offered for free to the guests, but then I'm paid by the event. And then I have activities for the kids that keep them entertained, that keep the parents shopping longer. So, but I'm, you know, working on trying to find a situation like that and have yet to find something like that. So.
Greg had a question. Go ahead, Greg.
Kyla, I think your idea is interesting, and I think it could be wildly popular. How many kids can you accommodate at one time? And I assume you'll be supervising this activity.
Yes, I have accommodated up to 500 kids for a single event.
No, but
in Los Angeles,
I'm assuming you'll do this at a picnic table or some type of a setup for.
Yes, I would have 3 different tables. And if I was to do something like I mentioned, I have a variety of activities and crafts so that there's something for every member of the family, because it's not just the one kid that wants to craft. There's oftentimes the little brother that just wants to be wild, and maybe there's a baby that just wants to play with pom-poms. So I've really been able to entertain the kids and get people and families able to stay longer at an event. So I'm a great tool. And I've been, go ahead.
How many tables do you anticipate having inside your booth? It sounds like, I mean, the booths are kind of a standard stock size, and I'm trying to imagine 3 picnic tables inside a booth with children doing, so you're not planning.
Oh, that would not fit. And yeah, and picnic tables actually aren't safe for kids. For what I'm proposing to do to start off is I'm going to have 2 6-foot tables that raise higher. Are they 6 foot? The smaller of the folding.
Like a bar height table.
Tables. And then 2 to 4 kid small table setup for the kids and the craft activity for now. And I was going to kind of wait to see which was more popular, because if I don't make any money with that setup, then I am aware I'd have to reach out to you and sort of reapply in a sense and say, hey, the kids' craft kits were really popular, then I would have that be my focus.
So are
but
you having children actually use the craft kit there on site? I mean, I get the DIY lotion bar, which is for the sugar scrubs.
I see so many bachelorette parties. The craft kit, I believe, I kind of got a sense, I'm predicting that they're going to be purchased and taken with them.
I'll tell you
which is why I did it.
Let me qualify all of that, because you're saying sugar scrubs. I don't know a child that would be interested in a sugar scrub, right? So it sounds more like that's an adult thing, maybe. And if you have kids with them, then you have the children's activity kit, which then they could be doing there as well. So it's more of an activity booth, it sounds like, than it is a buy and take away booth. Am I right?
No, I don't think so, Dan. I think what I think she's doing is wanting to sell the scrubs to the parents and the kids boxes, but showing them what to do. The problem is, are you going to have the kids stay there while their parents shop, or the parents stay there while their kids are playing?
Absolutely not. I am a babysitter. No, do not leave your child with me. I am not so I'm trying to throw a wide net. So the sugar scrub is for our adult visitors, and the kids activity is for our families and our kids.
Okay,
and I'm going to kind of see what is more popular.
Okay.
So that's why I'm offering 2 with that age difference, appealing to 2
You're not planning on extending
different
out.
people.
You're not planning on extending out of your booth into the walkway, are you? I mean, my concern is there might be some.
But potentially the same.
Say again?
Oh, of course not. Absolutely not.
I'm sorry. I didn't hear you.
Kyla, there's a delay and you're frozen, and then we miss like words, and then all of a sudden it speeds up and stuff. I'm not really sure why.
Oh, that might be my internet. I apologize. It hasn't been spectacular lately, and maybe it's the wind. Yeah, I have Spectrum.
Okay. All right. Carry on. Sorry. Go ahead.
I could maybe switch to my phone. I can switch to my phone, but that might take me a minute.
So did we get an answer to that question? Are you planning to contain everything inside of your booth, the activities, the scrub, the kids, all of that is going to be inside your booth? It wouldn't extend outside your booth into the walkway?
No. I've vended a great deal of time, so I'm spatially aware and courteous to my neighbors, and definitely want to be safe and abide by the rules.
So I see children looking at it. I don't really feel like parents will have a lot of time to have their child do the crafts. So by selling them, I think it's great. We don't have anything for children.
Yeah.
There aren't very many vendors that do children's activities or children's things. So
I guess that the thing that we're saying is that, you know, there's a lot of movement at VillageFest. So people might stop at the front of a booth to buy something and then walk on. But if you're going to be having people there for a period of time because they're performing an activity, you would have to have that happen like right within your booth and not anything beyond it, because there's a lot of people walking Village Fest.
Yes. I designed my booth setup so tables are at the back of the booth.
Actually, I didn't see any pictures of the booth. Faith, are they in the package? I must have missed that when I was there because I didn't.
I saw the trailer.
So there's room for people to come to work. Oh, on my Instagram. Yes. I have a big vintage trailer. I don't have that anymore. The freezing.
Okay.
I'm kind of on the fence, to be honest, with this proposal.
If there was something really unique about it that says Palm Springs, some kind of a, you know, historical element that kids might find fascinating and would want to do something. How's it different than just a coloring book or a, you know, a do-it-yourself make a necklace or something? I honestly thought your service was not, I mean, to use your word, babysitting, to let the kids sit there for 30 minutes and do something while parents go. But if that's not it.
No, and I don't think we could have that at Village Fest because of, you know, there could be a liability thing.
I thought so too, yeah.
Forget that, no. No, this has to be something where there's people coming there, going inside of the booth, going within the borders of the booth to do their scrub, put it together. Because how long does this actually take, Kyla? How long does it take for them to do the sugar scrub and get it in the drawer and then purchase and leave?
About 15 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. Some people might take longer, but
I'm not sure that
it shouldn't take too
get
long.
their attention for that long, because it's a strolling along Village Fest thing. But you know, that's your business model, so you'll work that out. But I'm not sure that it doesn't sound like it's 100% baked, if you will. It seems like you're wanting to have a booth to offer activities and products, and that you will kind of let it develop for however the model works at Village Fest. Is that what I'm detecting?
Yes, if there's just such a shortage of actual activities especially for kids, and
you're fading out there. Well, I'll say this, Celia, I do get your reservation with it. I'm not sure that I 100% understand how she's going to make the business model work in that short period of time that you get attention from the Village Fest goers. However, I will say that I would be willing to give it a shot and let her try it and develop it. And if it doesn't work out, then she doesn't stay at Village Fest. And, you know, that's gonna be up to her. But what's your thought on that?
I agree with Dan. I think this idea could be great to include the kids. And I think some parents will very much appreciate that there's an activity for the kids to participate in. My concern is this well thought out enough that I see kids spilling things, I see kids eating things, I see a lot of potential issues that if they're not addressed could become a potential concern or problem. But having said that, Kyle, I like your idea. I'm just not sure it's framed well enough that it would be controlled and organized.
Can I make a suggestion, Kyle? Maybe have maybe have a what are those little TVs called? You know, put it on a film that you show kids sitting at a table doing this artwork and doing this event, and let the reel go through, you know, on in your booth. That way you can sell your products and you can show people, because I personally don't think families are going to spend that kind of time with their kids. They want to see everything, and our blocks are long. So I think if you were to show it on a reel that plays over, I don't know what it's called, like an
iPad?
Like a what?
Like an iPad or
Yeah,
something.
tablet or
Yeah, like an iPad, and show what can be done. I think you'd have a better shot at. I think it goes to your model more. That's just my opinion.
Kyla, what is your website address? Because I'm not finding anything pop up. Is it amusethem.carols or card with 2 R's .co or .com?
Oh, there's no way we
No
can.
.com. That was just, we are. I apologize. My website is amusethem.card, CARRD.co. I have
Are there
the
2 R's in
QR
that, or is
code
there one? Because again, you're
on my card. I don't know. Pardon me? I'm so sorry about the cutting out. Everyone's frozen.
So I'm gonna hop in here real quick.
Sorry.
Kyla, I love the idea of bringing an experience around children and families, and I think, you know, that is new. Even like checking out your website, my only concern, to kind of second Dan and Greg as well, is yeah, we'd love to see this kind of fleshed out, and I know you're going to be kind of adapting when you're there. My only concern is just space as well, and same thing what Julie mentioned as well, is a lot of people do pass through quickly. So yeah, would love to just kind of see it more fleshed out. Space, I know you mentioned 2 tables, so I'm not sure how that would work out, I guess, in regards to the standard booths, but it looks like this might be an activity where people would stay at and would need space. So that's my only concern. We just want to see it a little bit more fleshed out. But I love the concept of bringing an experience to kids and families, and maybe just testing something out.
Thank you. Yes, typically when I've done the events, I have a much larger footprint. But like I said, I've sold at swap meets, and I've been a vendor at events since I was 16. So I know how to keep it contained. I did submit photos of my booth layout so that there is a lot of open area for people to come into my space so that they're not out. And I have part of my display are these giant Legos. So, and I would display the craft kits on these at kid height. So it's definitely attractive to kids, I promise.
Cool.
So may I have a question for the board? We have a lot of room down by Las Casuelas and all the way down there. If she doesn't need a tent, why can't she just do it out in the open?
That's what I wanted to say.
That she needs, and to see if it works or not.
Right, we have lots of space, so we could put her in a space where she could spread out if that's what she needed. We do have open space, and especially leading up to summer. And I do believe Jasmine has something to say. She's been having her hand raised, so I believe Jasmine has some comments on this as well.
Sorry, I was trying not to interrupt, so I had my
Oh,
little
there you
hand up.
are. Hi, Jasmine.
So I just, there's a couple things. One, we have space. So if we want to allow her a little extra space, especially heading into the summer season, you know, we try and we ask vendors to spread out a little bit more, and then, remind them that obviously in the fall, when vendors return, we need to kind of go back into our space. But in order to keep the event the entire 4 blocks long, we allow people to kind of spread out. So this actually would be a really great time for her to start. Like we should get kind of, flush out some of the details of how it should work and how to set up, which, to be honest with you, most vendors do. We have an unusual size for this type of event. Most events are 10 by 10 or 15 by 10, but we're unique in that way that it's a little bit different. So most vendors take a time or two before they can actually adapt to the VillageFest setup and tear down, which is also very quick. So that she's not unique in that way. And I think that we can allow her that on a logistic point of view. In terms of what category she would fall under, we do have to have a category that everybody feels comfortable with. We can't approve a vendor based on, oh, they have a unique product and we want to allow it. The only time we're allowed that ability is if it's some sort of special event. We can allow someone, but that's kind of like a once or twice type of thing. It's not something we should put someone in for a long term. Her product, to me, all of the products that she showed in her application were raw products. They were all very raw products. What she's asking people to do is to create the art themselves, which is very similar to the scarf vendor that we used to have, where we provided them, they provided them a scarf, and then they provided them the dyes, and the participant or the guests were actually allowed to create their own scarves. And then the vendor dried the scarves and they could go and, shop a little bit and come back. So it's very similar in that manner. We allowed that vendor to participate under an art and craft category. So we do need to ensure that we have a category that we all feel comfortable with placing her under. And if you still want some more detail, we can allow her maybe a 4-week span, and then maybe have her come back and present to the board what has worked, what hasn't worked, and we can kind of solidify her application if there's some uncomfortableness behind kind of the fluidity of her vision right now. So there's just a couple options in there. I do agree it's kind of unique. We do need to have more youth-based activities. We do have a lot of young people who come out to the event. And as a parent of young children, I love when I run into someone who is real youth-based, and I would sit there for 15, 20 minutes and allow them to participate in an activity or be involved in creating something. So I don't think, as a parent, that's just a personal decision or a personal point of view. So yeah, I just want to make sure you guys have some guidelines. We do need to find a category that she fits under. And if you have some uneasiness, we can ask her to come back, and after she's had an opportunity to kind of fill the event out for a couple weeks.
Thank you, Jasmine. So I'd like to make a motion that we accept this vendor as an kids arts and crafts event, and give her the space that she needs, and call and see how it goes, as Dan said, for 4 weeks or 4 weeks or whatever, and bring her back to see if everything's moving good. And we can also go down and look at it ourselves.
Julie, I was actually going to make a motion to say, let's approve this vendor for a 2-month trial, and rejury in 2 months' time, see how she does, how she's feeling about it, and see how well it worked out. Because I think just 4 weeks may not be enough, and I was thinking about 2 months. I don't know. How do we feel about that?
I agree, Dan. I agree.
How does everyone else feel?
I
like that.
I like it.
All right. So Julie, you want to make the motion that way, or do you want me to?
Thank you.
You can make the motion, but you have to label it under arts and crafts.
Yes. All right. So I make a motion that we accept this vendor for a 2-month trial under the arts and crafts umbrella to try out and fine tune the whole process and see how well it's received, as well as see how well we could integrate it alongside of other vendors and things along with the walkway. And we'll schedule Kyla to come back. That would be, if we go 2 months, we're in May, so June. Have her come back in July. Does that make sense? We are meeting in July, right?
I would say 2 months from when she starts. I'm not sure when she's.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And if it means that, if, do we take a sabbatical in August? I don't recall now. We do, right? We don't have.
We have
meetings.
in the past. It will be up to the board's discretion how you would like
Okay.
to proceed. Mhm.
So if it turns out that it goes beyond 2 months because we're on a summer recess, that's perfectly fine. Let it continue until we come back for that first meeting. And at that point, we would reach out to Kyla to come back to a rejury and just, just sort of, I wouldn't even say to rejury.
Is
but
that
to
your
regroup.
motion, Dan?
Yeah.
It's a long motion, isn't it?
Is
My
that your
motion is that we
motion?
approve Kyla for a 2-month minimum trial, and we'll regroup with her to see how it works out and it integrates.
Right.
Second.
Okay.
Can I ask Dan on one more maybe additional thought or clarification? Kyla can come back to us and ask us or tell us what makes it successful. I mean, does she see a lot of families or kids there? Is it increasing by word of mouth? Are she getting referrals for birthday parties and other things to enhance her business?
Totally agree. And that's why I said to regroup. That's why I changed it from ready to regroup. But yes, absolutely. Come back for a discussion so we can fine tune it. Absolutely.
Okay, yes.
Can we vote?
All right. So there's a motion and it's seconded. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Congratulations, Kyla. Sorry this was a little bit more difficult. Also,
That's okay. Thank you.
next time we should be
I
on your
appreciate
phone
it.
probably because your internet.
Yes.
A little sketchy. Thank you so much. Congratulations. And
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
welcome to the Village Fest family. And we'll see you on the street. You'll work out with Faith for your orientation and how to get you set up. Okay.
Okay, sounds good. Thank
Thanks,
you all so
everyone,
much.
for grueling through this with us. I know it was a little bit of a difficult one. Thank you.
It's all right. Okay, bye.
All right. And if you'd like to drop, you can. You don't have to stay on if you don't.
Yeah, I'll go now.
Okay, so the next person we have Andrew on, I believe, right?
Tim. It's Tim, Everyday Sterling.
Well, I think we have Andrew Cabral for metal prints. I don't see Tim anywhere.
Everything 5I is Everyday Sterling.
I understand that, but I don't see a
I don't think
square
you're
on
on.
the screen with the name of Tim. Do you? There's only one other vendor left on here, and it's Andrew.
Okay.
Left on the screen, I mean. It looks like Tim hasn't joined us,
Zoom.
correct? Let me ask.
No.
He appears
Tim
to be
Boucher
absent.
here?
Yeah,
Tim appears to be
absent.
absent.
Okay.
I didn't understand that because we were all talking at once. Sorry, go ahead.
I said Tim appears to be absent. I did leave him a message.
Okay. That's what I thought, so sorry. All right, so Andrew, tell us
Hi.
about your metal prints. You have 3 minutes to explain what it is that you want to do and what your product is, and then we'll ask questions.
Absolutely. So I'm a photographer of, I think going on 4 years at this point, and I do dye sublimation printing, which when I say that, people, don't tend to really know what it is until I tell them, oh, do you remember pictures on coffee mugs? Most people have one of those laying around at theirs or their parents' house. It's that process. Dye sublimation is the ink transfer using heat and pressure that does that. The more unique thing I have is metal photo panels, which I deem to be superior to paper in a lot of different ways. It's lightweight, really durable. You don't have to spend money on the frame because it's kind of taking the direction that a lot of modern design is going, which is just simplistic. It's the photo, nothing else. Let me actually show you a picture right here. This is one of them right here.
Oh, okay, got it, yep.
Yeah, there's no need for a picture frame, lightweight, and the thing that usually wakes people up at my booth is when I slam it on the table, not gonna shatter. And I usually tell them, hey, if it drops, let it fall, and you're totally fine. But the thing about this process is I can do it in usually under 10 minutes, mostly because I have an Apple desktop at my disposal. A lot of people carry iPhones, they just airdrop it, or Android users will email it, which I can pull it up on the computer as soon as I receive it, touch it up in Lightroom if it's needed. Some cell phone pictures needed, becoming less of an issue these days because what phones can do is ridiculous. Get their approval, make sure they're happy with how it looks on screen, print it out, and press it. And the press process is 80 seconds, takes maybe a minute to cool down, and they're on their way with their brand new metal print.
Wow. This is not at all what I expected to be. Very cool.
What did you think it was going to be? I'm curious because I don't think people just because they don't see the metal photos too often.
I actually thought it was going to be embossing in metal.
Oh,
That's what I
no.
thought it was gonna be. I like this way better.
Well, the thing I would imagine embossing is like kind of a surface process,
Yeah.
which the thing about this is the metal, I got a blank somewhere. The metal has a white layer and then a gloss layer, and the
Yeah.
sublimation vaporizes the dye past the gloss layer until it hits the white. So it's protected. You can scratch the heck out of it. The image is fine, and it's a little
Wow.
UV resistant. They're rated to last about 65 years.
Wow.
I tell people, make sure it's a picture you really like, and maybe your grandkids will like too.
Very cool. Okay. Wow. Any questions for Andrew?
So you have several different products. You have prints, keychains, coasters, and mugs. So
Yeah,
the mugs, I'm assuming, are not metal.
Well, the mugs are not metal, not yet. Turns out I actually can do this on metal mugs. I haven't gone through that process yet. But the keychains, they're smaller, usually popular with kids because I've noticed printing pictures takes on more of a meaning as you kind of, add years to your wisdom or whatever. But kids really like keychains, and they're inevitably going to have something on their phone that they like, that they want to just carry around and show their friends. Because we all know the process of you've got something you like in your phone, you want to show people, you go, oh, hey, let me show you this. Oh, hold on. And then you're digging for it. Whereas a keychain, you just whip it out of your pocket. So that's the keychain part. The coasters takes a little bit of explanation. I have a 4x4 sized metal panel that comes with a stand if you'd like, but I did get requests for coasters, so I bought felt pads to attach on the bottom, and they can double as coasters. People set their drinks on, they're durable just like the other panels are. And the other, wait, what does he say? Wait, there's more. The 4x4 panels, they're small enough to add magnetic mounts to the back, because I was getting a lot of requests for refrigerator magnets. So I just got the magnets, and people want to display that, and it works out fantastic. So my favorite size for how universal it is.
And you say this process, they can order something from you, and it takes how long for you to actually make the product?
If they're at the booth, when they have the picture ready, because honestly, the hardest part is finding the picture that's in your head, but it's buried in, months of photos. The actual process, I spend maybe 30 seconds to a minute editing. It takes 30 seconds to come out of the printer. The heat press is set for 80 seconds and a minute to cool. So somewhere under 10 minutes. In the demonstration video I did, which I actually even took a picture from my brother-in-law's phone to show airdropping. I think I clocked in at 6 minutes and something seconds for him to have the print done, ready to go. But I do coffee mugs as well, just to kind of, because like I said, you don't see these as much anymore. I don't know why. Like I'm a coffee addict, I'll admit it. I'm not gonna hide it. And why wouldn't you want to drink out of something personalized? So same process. I have the mug press to do that here. That cooks for 240 seconds, and it takes maybe 3 minutes to cool because ceramic cools down slower. But I say that takes under 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But it's all then and there, you're on your way.
I think this is very cool. I think it's gonna be a hit.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Questions, anyone? Chris?
Yes, I saw the video, Andrew. Awesome explanation and process into kind of this whole work. Are you going to expect people to wait at the booth during this time, or to come back, I'm assuming, and pick it up when it's ready?
They actually do a mix. Sometimes I will have people, and I will require them to be there until I'm done with the edit, just so I can get the thumbs up, and then they're on their way, because I want them to be happy if the picture needs touching up. But some people want to wait the couple of minutes and then leave with their product, or some people had another booth in mind they want to check out really quick, and then they'll come back and just take it on their way back home. So it's a mix.
What are the price points? Can you give us an idea of that?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm right here actually. Keychains, because I go with the smallest first. 22. The 4x4s are 17. 4x6, 5x7, 8x10. Other than the coasters, the largest size I have, the largest panel, the 8x10, is 44. And then a set of coasters, which is four of the 4x4s, so people need to pick 4 different photos. It takes them a little bit longer. That's 55. I shaved off $10 out of the total price, but that's all tax included because most people don't want to sit there doing the math or see one price on my price list and then, my Square reader brings up something different. So I have that all included.
Andrew, what are color shifting mugs? That's another item that you have on the price list here.
Yeah, absolutely. Can I throw the Keurig on? No, I'll just show you. This is a color shifting mug. If you look really hard under the black, you can kind of see an image ghosted in there. This is one of those things where you put hot liquid in here, whether it's coffee or tea, and as it heats up the ceramic, it goes white, just like one of these mugs. And it reveals the picture.
So cool.
Again, that's been around for a while, but I don't know why people don't have them anymore. Let's bring it back.
That's awesome. That's really great.
And the only thing is the handle doesn't turn totally white because that stays cool the whole time, which is nice.
Hopefully, yeah.
Pick it up out of the press. But yeah, also lets you know when you need a fresh cup of coffee or tea.
That is awesome. Wow, love it. Okay.
Andrew, you have a several step process. Will there be other people at your booth with you helping to move things along?
I can typically handle this myself, mostly because when something's in the press, that has to run its course. I can't really interrupt that at all. And that usually allows me time to edit the next customer's photo and just feed it into the press as I pull things out. So it's not usually needed, but if things turn out busy enough, the dialogue, I'd say that might be the thing, or the conversation with people. I may actually invite a friend to come help me with that and discuss the product with them. But typically I can juggle the conversation and the process all at the same time.
Thank you.
Great idea. Okay. Other questions?
Maybe this is not, perhaps it's just logistical, but I guess they pay for it in advance and then they can't say, oh, I don't like it. This is not what I expected.
Basically,
how do you handle those? Do you?
Well, I do tell them that it will look basically like it does on screen, and I double or sometimes triple check to make sure, do you like how it appears on my desktop? Okay, then I will proceed. Just to establish that if you get, I think we've all worked customer service, you'll get somebody that goes, oh, I don't like it for maybe a reason that isn't easily proven. They're kind of stuck with it. I don't have that. The only time I will redo a print is if there's a printing error and it's like a 1 in 50 chance a piece of dust might end up on the panel just before I put the transfer paper on, and it maybe leaves a mark somewhere. I'll do that really quickly so they can take off for the proper print. But
I got it now. Obviously, are the mugs, can you put them in the dishwasher?
The heat transfer ones you cannot, and I do tell people there, I'm actually making cards to send with those. They're not microwave or dishwasher safe. I think it kind of ruins the shifting process, but the plain ceramic mugs, they're totally fine.
What about the coasters? Can they be, like, I'm assuming it can handle really cold or really hot things?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The cooking process itself is 400 degrees in my heat press. So
okay.
I can't imagine a lot of people drinking tea that hot.
Hopefully we're not drinking anything that's 400 degrees.
I think a McDonald's lawsuit took that out of the equation. So
hey.
I like your style. I think he's good.
I think it's great. I think this is an awesome, very unique idea for there. Even though you say a lot of these things exist, it's still a unique idea to pull this all together and, at a booth like that. Okay, can I get a motion?
I move that we accept Andrew Cabral into VillageFest.
Okay, moved by
Second
Sylvia,
that.
seconded by Chris Rodriguez. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
I
Opposed? Okay. Yes, you get to vote, I guess. Andrew, congratulations. Welcome to the VillageFest family, and we will see you on the street. You'll work out with Faith for your orientation and on a start date. I'm looking forward to seeing you do this. It's really cool.
I'm looking forward to be there, and I want you guys to spend time looking for your favorite pictures and then come see me at your booth or at my booth.
Will do.
Pressure's on.
Thanks.
Pressure's on. All right. Thank you, Andrew. Bye. Okay, so Faith, we didn't hear back from Tim, correct? Okay, all right.
We did not.
Well, that concludes our vendor review for the evening. Let's just go back to the, okay. Any unfinished business? Andrew, you can drop, thank you. Okay, any unfinished business? Faith?
None.
Jasmine, no?
Says none, yeah.
Okay. There is one thing that it's not unfinished business from this meeting, but I guess I should have made the comment in the beginning. When we spoke, Jasmine, when you and I spoke, we talked about a candle vendor who was doing candles in the shape of torsos and now has expanded her product line to have very large penis candles on display at VillageFest. So I guess we need to talk about that a little bit. I don't know if we call that new business unfinished business, but I guess now's as good a time as any.
Yeah, so Faith and I reviewed the vendor's original application. Faith went out and saw the product, the vendor booth in live on the street so that she could report back to the board what was visible in the booth, which she did agree there were a majority of the booth was not the product in which she presented to the board. While there was some allowance for a little bit of nudity, it was very modest in terms of what was being presented, and what is currently presented out on the street would not fit into this board's idea of a family-friendly event. So from a staff level, we just need some direction from the board, how you would like us to handle it. My suggestion would be that I call the vendor tomorrow and just identify that we received a complaint from a board member who had seen their product. And upon review of their application, they are selling product that is not approved through the board. We could allow her to present that to the board, and this board can make their determination based on what she presents. Or we could just tell her, from what we've seen on the streets, that is not a product that would be approved through this board. So basically it's not worth even presenting it to the board. But if you would provide us some direction, staff will follow up and implement whatever guidelines the board would like us to.
I would say that anything that is graphic genitalia is inappropriate for public display at VillageFest, which is again a family-friendly event with families and children and adults, and I'm sure that some adults are even offended by that. So yeah, I would say that that's a good course of action. That would be my opinion, to call and tell, because basically we don't even want those to show up this Thursday because it's been for too long already. So
yeah, no, we would make that call tomorrow morning.
Okay. Any comments from anyone else about it?
Yeah, I think that's the way to go, is just to nip it in the bud and just say it's not allowed.
So if I can make a comment, I'm actually the one that saw it, and I was appalled that children and older women, and there were even vaginas. I mean, I can't even tell you, very graphic, all different sizes and colors. And that's totally not acceptable. Yeah. I don't know. And that was her main line. It wasn't her secondary line. It was her front face line to the street.
And it's perfectly fine to have shapes of torsos because they're non-specific, but you can't have a woman's torso that then has nipples on it. You get what I'm saying? Because it's graphic genitalia. So
well, these were straight up penises.
I'm sorry?
These were straight up penises.
Oh yeah. So I don't know if that's the appropriate phraseology. I don't know if anyone has a suggestion for a better phraseology, but
body parts.
I just think Faith can, and Jasmine, especially Jasmine, can do this by just saying, we've seen what you have in your booth. It's not appropriate for VillageFest. We're not allowing it. And it's not what we approved. So I don't think we need to go into big.
Okay. Yep. We don't need to make a policy about genitalia. That's true.
Yep.
I agree with everything that's said, but there's one more thing. I think this vendor misled the board by offering items that were not approved. And we make it very clear that you must have the items that you intend to sell approved. So I think there's two violations here, Jasmine. And I think, and and board members that I think she needs to be told to cease and desist.
I agree.
I agree.
I think she should be eliminated, actually.
I'm with
I
you,
agree.
Sheila. I'm with you.
Now,
I agree.
I will say something about that as far, because I considered that earlier, because I was speaking with Faith about this at the office today, and we did review the package, and I had forgotten that we had approved the torsos, honestly. I don't find them offensive because you see that everywhere. There it is, exactly. But you know, again, like I said, if there's no nipples on the torso, it's not as offensive. You know, you could paint a bathing suit on it and it will look like a bathing suit, right? So, so I don't know about eliminating the vendor, because it's not an enormous stretch from the torsos that show the bust line. And
it's a huge stretch, Dan, to go from a torso, a kind of a nondescript torso, to a giant penis. Come on.
I stand corrected, but I'm just saying, though, in other words, it's not like she came and she had square pillar candles and all of a sudden they showed up in body forms, right?
I think
we already approved a body form, so I'm
but I think Greg's point is
on eliminating her.
This person really knew they were.
Let me ask Faith. Faith, do you have that picture I sent you?
I don't know. I don't remember how you sent the picture. I do have like what she was sent in her. I think we talked on the phone. I don't believe you sent me a picture.
I texted it over to you.
You did? Okay. I'll have to check.
I think we all know what a penis looks like. So, I mean.
Well, I think the question here.
Well, it wasn't one penis. It's a whole rack of different size penises.
Well, they usually come in at least pairs. I mean, that's how it works in Palm Springs. But anyway, no, but
Just
I
in
would say
case
that.
you didn't know, that's what they look like.
Thank you, David. I would like to, I personally would move to do exactly what Jasmine said. Have a call with her, tell her cease and desist. You cannot have those. You have to go back to the original product line that we approved. And if she wants to show anything different at all, any variation on it, she has to come back and be rejuried. And then if there's a secondary violation, I'm all for eliminating the vendor. But at this point, I think we might be, for me, it's a bridge too far to say, that's it, you're ejected because you had this there. Only because, again, it's not out of the category, if you will. That she was already showing things that were a little bit erotic, if you will, but they were not vulgar. This is vulgar.
And this is an accountability issue. This is an accountability issue. And I think nothing short, if we don't want to eliminate the vendor, she needs to come back before this board and explain her actions.
I agree, Greg, 100%.
Personally, I think if I may say, I think it's a waste of time, because she'll probably keep them in a box in the back. And if somebody asks and she's already been showing them, she's going to pull them out. I think you eliminate the problem and set an example for the street.
Well, do we have a problem with her selling them if they're not on display, or
oh my God,
is it the display or is it the actual selling them? That's what I want to know, what you're feeling.
They don't belong in VillageFest.
And they weren't approved by the board. So she's selling something that wasn't approved. And I think Greg's point is right. We had remember that, who was the guy that sold that got so many complaints? He had to come back before the board and deal with, you're not showing good customer service. People are complaining about you. And I think this woman, or
that was the Rugaluck guy. Yeah.
Rugaluck, that's exactly right. So
Mark Cherry.
I think that I think it's an accountability. I agree with Greg 100%. And I think she needs to go.
Okay, so
let's take a vote on it.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Sorry, guys. My computer's gonna die, so I'm gonna run and grab my charger. But we have guidelines for how we deal with vendors, and it's basically a 3 strikes you're out. So if we're going to implement a guideline where it's 1 strike you're out, we're going to have to actually change our rules and regulations for that. So we have to stay consistent with vendors who have sold products that or started adding products to their booth that they weren't approved to sell. We have a write-up system. You get 2 or 3 write-ups. We do have the ability always to bring a vendor back before the board and have a stern conversation, which we have done, and we did do with the arugula guy and a vendor who had their dog who kept snapping at people. So that we do have that ability. We do not have the ability just to kick someone out on a first strike. So I do agree this is a pretty egregious offense, but we have to be able to stand behind that decision and know that they can appeal it and it will go to the city attorney's office. And we need to have, we need to just make sure that we're 100% behind saying this was egregious enough that we skipped all the steps and we terminated someone's permission to participate. So have that discussion. Sorry, I'm going to grab my charger.
No, I think she's absolutely right. I mean, as much as I would like to have this person off the street, I think we do have to follow a procedure to do.
Right. I think we have a liability here if we just eject them without any warning or anything. You know,
But she could get a cease and desist for tomorrow.
absolutely.
Or Thursday, like your product cannot, none of that can be on in your booth. And I
And
think
Julie, if your suspicion is correct, then she will still display them, and we need to keep a close eye on that. And as of Thursday night, she will be in violation, at which point we could do a couple things. One is she should be approached during Village Fest to say, I'm sorry, you'll have to remove those items immediately from display and you cannot sell them. And then we keep an eye on, because if that happens, then we're going to catch her, right? It's
Well, they have to be removed. They were never approved.
yes.
Well, yeah. So the busts were approved. Those are in her
Yes,
board.
absolutely.
So those are okay. We're just talking about the larger.
Right.
And then obviously I didn't see that Julie said that there was some
Vagina candles.
Yeah,
So-
that depicts genitalia body parts.
That needs to be,
So the bus that she
removed.
was approved for are fine then.
Right. And then she needs to come back before the board and explain
So
her
you do,
action.
okay, so for the next meeting, you'd like to rejury her and have a talk with her. Okay.
Right, and I personally think you need to give her one strike.
Yep.
Two.
We can do that.
Oh, wait a
We
second.
can
Do
provide
we
her
need
with
to
a
rejury
written.
her? Sorry, Jasmine, go ahead.
I was going to say we could absolutely provide her with a written citation, and obviously we'll dictate what rules she violated in the rules and regulations, ask her to come back before the board at your next board meeting. And I think the conversation really should center around one, a violation of a pretty egregious rule where we are trying to keep our event to an art and craft, and then secondary, we try and keep the event family friendly. So it was doubly of concern to the board, because she put something in her booth that was not approved, and then second, she put something in her booth that violates our items, our desire to keep the event family friendly.
Like I said, I know there's stores that have items like that in their stores, but that's behind the scenes where kids are not seeing that. I literally watch kids. I was like really embarrassed for kids.
Yeah, because we're on the street, so anyone walking by sees it. Whereas if you go into a store that has erotic items and you bring your child in, you know you're doing that, right?
Right.
But we can't have erotica at Village Fest. And so
well,
she
we
needs to know
have
that.
a lot of tourists that, this must be really offensive to a lot of tourists. Like, geez, what's going on in Palm Springs that they would allow this?
Agree.
And I think those kind of stores, you have to be 18 to go in.
Right.
True.
I was going to say, there are certain sections of, for instance, Pride, not to segregate it, but Pride has sections that are so family friendly, and then show us you're 18 or over and you can't come in and buy these things during Pride. At least certain Prides. I'm not even sure about ours, but I would think they have the same kind of guidelines or rules for who can be a vendor and what you can do and sell and show. And if it's not clear, if it's 100% clear that this vendor's not going to come back and say, they're doing the same thing over here or over there or under the table, but you don't know about it. We want to make sure we do a fair investigation if it's presented that way.
Well, let's not assume the worst. I mean, we have to approach it first by saying, look, this is what was seen at your booth. It's inappropriate. You cannot have that. You have to cease and desist at this point with that. Go back to the product line that was approved. By the way, you're in violation. because, you know, aside from that, you're also in violation because as you have been informed in the past, if you want to add items to your booth, you have to come and be rejuried, and you didn't do that. So there's two issues with this. The first one is appropriateness, and we would expect that any adult would understand that. But just to be sure, this is what it is, and we cannot have that, period. Done, right? I'm not sure why we would have her come back here at this point unless she has a violation after this discussion.
To make it clear that she violated the accountability, that, you know, that she needs to have a strike against her. She needs to have the board say, you did something that was not appropriate.
Well, it is a citation, right?
But we did that with the arugula guy, you know, it's like he got it. And
Okay.
I think we can't just say, oh, it's a, you know, here's the guideline, you broke the guideline. She needs to understand that this was serious and that the board is taking some action, not just cease and desist.
I'm not really opposed to it. I was just wondering if it was necessary, but I understand what you're saying now, and I take your point.
Okay.
Yeah, I just one last comment. You know, not only has she violated the rules of being approved to be part of VillageFest, she's violated the trust of a lot of the people we serve who come to VillageFest.
Yes.
That's not appropriate. And I think this board needs to stand on not only protecting the vendors and the merchants, but also the participants of VillageFest. And Dan, I think you encapsulated it correctly. I agree with what you said
I
about
accept your point.
cease and desist.
So I just want to say, I'm not opposed to a good penis, but what I'm saying is I think that we need to put it in our bylaws that no erotic or exotic parts, or whatever you want to say it, can be displayed at any time. Maybe we need to make that as one of the guidelines.
It's there by our approval process, Julie. We approve it's there inherently.
Yeah, but she didn't abide by that. So
Yeah, because she broke the rules. Yeah.
Right.
If she reads it ahead of time and does it, then she's thrown out. Then you have the right to throw her out.
Well, so can we clarify what action we're taking? I think we're kind of
I'm
going.
going to make a motion.
Thank
I
you.
make a motion that we have Jasmine or staff contact the vendor with a cease and desist for these items that were not on her original approved list. Also inform the vendor that any form of erotica is not allowed, that it's a family-friendly event. And third, inform the vendor that they are in violation of their agreement with VillageFest because they brought new items into the booth without being rejuried. And then also let them know that we are going to call them back before the board to have a discussion, but they can still sell at VillageFest, but only the items that they were approved for. Everything else has to go, and that starts immediately.
Well
And I would
said.
give her a strike on that as well.
Yes, that goes without saying. Absolutely.
Well said. I second your motion, Dan.
Okay, so all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, there we go. We have a decision. Sorry that took so long, guys.
Staff
All
will follow up and have that conversation. And I would just like to mention that it is appreciated that the board is out at the event and can report things back. You know, Faith has a small staff that helps her on Thursday nights, but mostly she's the person who reviews booths, and sometimes she gets called away that she doesn't get to every booth every week, and it's impossible as someone who worked the event every Thursday for quite a few years. So, you know, having extra eyes and ears out on the street to report these types of things is important and appreciated.
Well, Jasmine, that's our job too.
It's much appreciated.
Thank you for saying that, Jasmine.
Thank you,
Okay.
Jasmine. And as a board, I really think we need to get back to everybody taking a week, or I walk almost every Thursday because I work at night. So I walk down to see all this. But another set of eyes at the other end wouldn't hurt.
Yep.
She's in front of Las Casuelas, by the way.
Okay. All right. So next we have any reports or requests? We have no open items, Jasmine, right, that we were working through at this point, do we?
We do have a subcommittee report. I do believe that the subcommittee for recruitment and retention met. I don't know if you guys want to report anything back. I was unable to attend. I got called into a meeting at the very last minute, and we had such a struggle trying to schedule the meeting that once we got it set, I didn't want to move it. So I don't know if there's any information that they would like to report back. I know Faith and I are going to work on getting some more information to them. But if there's anything you guys would like to report to the group as a whole right now, that would be great.
Who are the members of the recruitment and retention committee? David and Greg?
And John Bolton.
And John, okay. So who wants to take the floor and give us an update?
Greg, you were going to do some maneuvering of the data.
I sent it
That was
back
the
to you.
last I
Did you?
heard.
I sent it back to you. Did you not get it?
I don't remember. Is this the one you sent to me on the 5th?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
We don't necessarily need a report if we're still working through. I was just saying
Yeah,
that
if
would
you
be
guys
the
are
only.
Still working on stuff.
We
Yeah,
can
okay,
hold it
that
till
sounds
the
good.
next meeting.
We'll have a report for our next board meeting, and then I'm going to try and meet with the subcommittee again before our next meeting, so I can help guide them. Just, you know, Faith and I were talking. Typically, we don't meet with the subcommittees unless we're asked to attend for some reason, but you know, we have a lot of new board members, and we want to make sure we can provide you with all of the information that we have available so that you are you know, equipped in making some guidelines or making some policies for staff to implement. You know, part of the board's process is a recommending body, and oftentimes that recommendation, you know, comes through staff level, and then staff implements whatever it is that you would like for us to implement. So we just want to make sure that you know, because we have some newer board members, that everyone is aware of what we can and can't do, and how we on a staff level can best serve your goal of, you know, whatever the subcommittee's purpose is. Because I do think we have another subcommittee. I'm not sure if they've had a chance to meet, but we were thinking about implementing our previous project of, you know, youth art during the summer season. We talked about that as well. So I do want to also make sure that I can, you know, attend one of those meetings to help implement that program as well.
Thank you, Jasmine. You two do an amazing job, and you just keep us going. So thank you very much for everything. I don't know if I missed it or not. I was working on the Harvey Milk thing for tomorrow morning. Can you tell me if we're going to get out of Zoom and back to real life?
Celia asked that at the beginning of the meeting. She also had some conversation with a council member, and I believe the response that Celia received was that there are some issues with the recording of our meetings that happens, and that only happens in, you know, two spaces, which is the large conference room where we meet, as well as the council chambers, and also some logistics with the different commissions and boards that all need to kind of meet in those two spaces. I will follow up after this meeting, but I did follow up after our previous meeting and was told by the city clerk's office that council had not approved for commissions and boards to meet in person. And then I just asked her to let me know as soon as that conversation takes place again. But I'm going to follow up after this meeting and just let her know that that was the mention from a council member, that those were the two issues, and if there's anything we can do on a staff level. So I'm constantly in the city clerk's office chiming in about how important it is for this particular board to meet in person. Some boards it's not as important, but this one it is pretty integral in your ability to make decisions, and I've made that pretty clear. But I'll continue on that path.
It
Jasmine,
is
would
because
it be
Dan
helpful if
did it.
we? I was going to ask, would it be helpful if we wrote to council members and expressed our opinion? Would that be helpful?
I did that. I think it would if we all did that, it would help. I don't know why this is taking so long. You know, they have other things like, I mean, they had the white party, for heaven's sakes. It's like thousands of people and we can't get 10 people in a room. So I don't understand the logic, but we have to abide by what they say. But I think it would help if every board member just reached out to Grace or whomever on the city council.
All of them.
Yeah, and just let them know that, you know, we're stymied a bit.
So now the council's back in you know, in City Hall having their meetings. Do you not think it would be wise for us to go there and ask them in person in front of the group if we can get back when they call for you know, different topics?
Have you been watching the meetings? Because I have been, and the impression I'm getting is that the only people that are in chambers with them, it's not open to the public, it's open to people that are going to speak at the meeting or have an issue to raise at the meeting.
I think it's pretty much open to the public. Who wants to come.
I'm not sure about that. I don't know.
I can find that out tomorrow
It
for
didn't
you.
seem that way. Okay.
I'll text you tomorrow.
Yeah, if we could get on the agenda and, you know, kind of come as a consolidated force before the board, you know, several of us or whoever can go. I think I'd be willing to do that if we can get on their agenda, if that's what it takes.
Jasmine, is the decision in the hands of the council at this point, or is it in the hands of the city manager? Because they put it in the city manager's hands to decide on COVID precautions and everything else.
Well, I can tell you that I can tell you that after the last two meetings that we've had, because we've had, you know, discussion about it, how important it is, that I follow up with the city clerk's office, and every time she has said she's waiting from direction for council for all of the commissions and boards. It's not just this one, but I've tried to reiterate how important it is for this particular board to meet in person, to be able to kind of hold the various products that people are presenting, to see them in person. It's not, you know, like the planning commission that goes through paperwork. You know, our board actually needs to see and hear things in person in order to make effective decisions, which she completely understands. And I think she also is trying to get more commissions and boards to meet in person. But unfortunately, we just kind of get looped in with the rest of them, even though we play a very different role than other commissions and boards.
I suggest that if anyone's going to write to the council members, I would also copy the city manager then, because the city manager will weigh into the decision.
I agree. And Dan needs his custard.
Okay. So that's retention. Any staff reports?
I just wanted to report back to the board as a whole. I met with Chair Ganella and Vice Chair Garten to talk about CBD and cannabis at VillageFest. I have been having ongoing conversations with the city attorney's office on how best to address some of the issues that have come before the board. And one of the biggest issues that the city attorney had was downtown merchants who have cannabis products. And what if, obviously we decided we did not want cannabis products being sold at this family-friendly event. And that was kind of, he fine with that. That falls within the state guidelines that he fully felt his team could support and defend. There was just this small issue that if you had a cannabis storefront that also sold CBD, and we allow CBD products at our event, do we then allow a cannabis vendor to sell only their CBD products at VillageFest? My concern with that would be that no matter what, there's going to be promotion of their business, right? So someone's going to take their tent out that is their downtown business cannabis, but only sell the CBD. So there's still that promotional part of the cannabis industry that this board did not want to see out on the street. So from direction from Dan and Celia, what we would like to do is implement basically that we have, I believe, 3 vendors who are currently selling CBD who are not merchants on the street. They've actually been with us for quite a few years. And we will allow them to be grandfathered in, but no additional CBD products will be approved for the event moving forward. The city attorney's office is 100% comfortable with that decision, and they feel they are able to defend that should anybody come before them and say, oh, we're allowing these vendors, but not these vendors. But if they come in as grandfathered and there's no allowance moving forward, they're okay with that. So I just wanted to advise the board as a whole that I've had that conversation offline with our chair and vice chair, and then reported back to the city attorney's office. And if you have any comments or questions about us implementing that policy moving forward.
Jasmine, I have to agree.
Sorry, Julie. That includes all topicals, meaning body creams and everything.
Correct.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Julie.
That's okay. I say there be no cannabis or CBD, and the 3 vendors that you have out there do sell to cannabis stores. So I think you got a real fine line there, because they do sell their products to cannabis stores.
I think it's the opposite though, Julie. What we're saying is that if you are a cannabis business and you have a CBD product, if you're selling the CBD product at VillageFest, our concern is that that's promoting your business and your brand, which is a cannabis brand.
So these vendors though are saying you can buy my product also here.
Oh yeah, that's not
Is
good.
what I'm saying. And I do know that those vendors sell to other dispensaries. I don't believe in being in the business. I don't believe children or anybody in a friendly street fair environment needs to be subject to that at all, not even the advertisement. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm totally against it. These people are also telling people where to pick up their products should they not be there on Thursday night or during the week if they run out. So I'm advising to get rid of all of it.
So
one guy there isn't even, his product is a lie altogether. And I think you know who I'm talking about, Jasmine. The old guy. I forgot his name. He has long gray hair, short guy. He's been there forever, and everything he says I've checked out, and it's all a farce.
So is there any merit to us asking Jasmine to make a call to those couple of CBD vendors that we have, let them know that we're putting a moratorium on adding any more CBD vendors, and that we respectfully ask them to not direct their customers to cannabis businesses to pick up their product, because that's exactly the issue? Or is that too much information that could then get us in trouble? Or
Dan, it's like saying to the pizza guy, where can I pick up your pizza? I mean, I'm going to tell you no matter what if you ask me. So, I mean, that is really doesn't work.
So do we just leave the CBD vendors that are grandfathered in? Do we let them know they're grandfathered in?
So I think you should get rid of them.
What the city attorney asked me to do was to ensure that the vendors that we are grandfathering in are aware that we will no longer be accepting CBD vendors. And if for any reason they take a hiatus, they will not be allowed back in the event. It is a kind of like hard line. This is it, no further. So if they decide to take time off, unfortunately, they will not be allowed back in, but he did say we need to provide them notification of that.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Sounds like through attrition, Julie, we will achieve what would you like to achieve there? Just that
right, probably through the summer months.
You're out. Yeah.
Yeah, through the summer months that would probably work.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. But that's how they're selling. You don't think they're making enough money on and their product actually is not even quality product. So the CBD count on them is not high enough to even do anything for a patient.
Yeah.
So I've already been through the gamut with all of them. I've watched and looked at all of it. So, and me being in the business, I'm not interested in children or anybody else seeing any of that product. It's usually for adults.
Yep.
So we have a path forward. Sounds like, can we
We do.
get in on to 8 o'clock? Can we move on to adjournment?
That was where I was gonna go next. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Justin, you're good? Okay. I make a motion that we adjourn the meeting.
I
Second.
Seconded by Greg. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Go forth and enjoy your dinner, everyone.
So,
Bye.
Have a good
Bye-bye.
evening. Thanks.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.